Okay, and this is my review for Test Masters. I went through part of their course, and I just want to basically give my review and my personal experience from dealing with them. And I hope this helps anybody out there who really wants to know what Test Masters is about. Okay, so I enrolled in the course for the general GRE examination. So this is the general GRE, and I enrolled into one of their courses. I think it cost almost $1,000. And on the first day, we met in class, and we just took an exam. And probably, I would say, probably like the my biggest, like one of my biggest complaints right away. One of my biggest complaints right away was that it was at a hotel that was run down and it was ghetto. Okay, like you see here how there's like a nice whiteboard and there's like, you know, everything looks nice and clean, right? A nice whiteboard. That's not what we got. Okay, we didn't get a nice clean whiteboard. We got a rundown hotel. There's some room in a rundown hotel where, like, you know, a lot of the ceiling tiles in that room are like hanging down and stuff. I mean, that hotel was ghetto. On my table that I was taking this exam on, there were 2 small cockroaches on the table that I was taking this exam on. Okay? 2 cockroaches. That's how ghetto this hotel is. And I understand that they are looking for a place to, you know, host these, you know, these classes. But honestly, like, I pick someplace else. Don't pick a rundown hotel. If you're gonna pick someplace, pick a nice place. Have a nice room. Have nice tables, because that place was just horrible. I mean, I felt horrible being there. It's like, oh, I'm taking this class for my future. And then I have these cockroaches on the table, and I'm like, man, this is, So anyway, I took the exam, and that was it for the first day. The first day we took one exam, and that was it. And so the next day, we were in a different room. And that room that we were in was probably even worse than the room that we took the exam in, because the other room... This is so horrible. There was like one tiny whiteboard that was like hung on a wall, right? And like that was it. It was like one tiny, maybe it might have been like, oh, I don't know, like a 4-foot by 2-foot whiteboard. And then that was it. And it was like hung on the wall. And it was like really cheesy, okay? like seriously. Like, you're going to, you know, teach this big class with all these people, and you have some ghetto little tiny whiteboard. I mean, it's not even like a professional, it's not like a gigantic board where that you see like at a university or like at a school. No, this was like some ghetto, like Walmart whiteboard, literally like plastered on the wall, and that's what he was going off of. And the guy that you see in the video, that's the same guy I had on my, I guess, second day. So, and by the way, all the walls and stuff had like stains all over them. I mean, you know what I felt? I felt that it was like a prison cell. Like, seriously, it felt like a ghetto prison cell with a whiteboard like just hammered, you know, against the wall so that it stuck on the wall. It was horrible. And, okay, so the guy that you see was the guy that I had. And he started writing a bunch of stuff on the board. And he was, you know, I guess he speaks loud, which is okay, but he goes way too fast. Like, basically, he's talking, like, extremely, extremely fast. I almost want to say it's almost like, as if he was in a rush to get it all done, which isn't necessarily the best thing. I mean, you want to keep up the pace, but you don't want to go too fast. He was just going so fast. And when he was writing things on the board, he wasn't like writing out complete sentences, and he wasn't even writing out complete words. He was like abbreviating and stuff like that. And it just felt sloppy, okay? and he's making like jokes and stuff, and just like his whole behavior is just real bad. In fact, when we got our textbooks, he like opened up this big box, right, and just took the lid and just like threw it in the corner of the room and said, "All right, everybody, get your books." And then he started throwing candy out to everybody, like for answering questions and stuff like that. And I literally like it didn't feel professional. It did not feel professional at all. It felt like somebody, like, it felt like being at like a carnival with somebody throwing out a bunch of candy. I mean, like, seriously. I couldn't even believe it. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I wonder who paid for that candy. Me. Like, yeah, I paid for that candy. I mean, sometimes handing out candy is okay, but I didn't like the gimmick. It did not seem like a professional thing. It sounded like he was just goofing around. And I just didn't like this guy's attitude. I didn't like his attitude, and it was not a fun thing going to this. And it just felt horrible being in that room. I mean, like, if it had been at a nicer place, then okay, maybe it might have been a little bit better. But even if it were at a nicer place, this guy, it just seems to me like he was just like he's just really arrogant. And it just seemed like he didn't really care. It just seemed like all they really cared about was just getting your money. And I withdrew from the second day and said, no, I'm not doing that. And I don't even know how much money we got back, but I think we got screwed or something, like big time. But yeah, I would not recommend test masters at all. Even if they were at a better place. I mean, the place that they were at was a ghetto hotel. Cockroaches, no joke. Cockroaches, ceiling tiles are sagging down, stains on the wall, some tiny little bitty whiteboard that you probably got at Walmart, and that was just like, hammered on the wall, and that was the board that we're going to use. Like, what? No. I mean, like, no, that's not how you do it. And I mean, and it's not, and it wasn't even like professional either. I mean, it's not like a professional teacher or a professor at a university who has I guess his mannerism was not professional at all. Anyway, so that's my review from test masters. I say avoid them and don't take them, and don't take them at all. I would never sign up ever again for anything. I would rather learn on my own than take a class from these people. And I know you might say, well, you didn't see all the different people, you just saw the one guy. But no, the ghetto hotel with the cockroaches, no, like, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna. It was depressing, and it felt disgusting being there. And I don't even have like super high standards. I mean, as long as it's a decent place, okay, great. It doesn't have to be all fancy. But that was absolutely horrible. And what they did really was they just found some cheap place to rent out a room to do this. And they just found the cheapest one they could. Hey, let's find some hotel and rent out a room and do this thing. I mean, if they had their own building, if they had their own place, then great. But this was just a sloppy thing. I mean, my God, it was horrible. And then he like handed me my exam back, and it wasn't too good. And he's like, "Here you go. You suck." That was the impression that I got out of this. So no, I did not like test masters at all. I do not recommend them to anyone. I say stay away. And that's my review. My review is do not buy into this service. It literally just felt like a big, like, almost kind of like a scam. Oh, and by the way, if you look at a lot of the test masters videos that they have on YouTube, you can see how they have the comments disabled. And that's because I bet you a lot of people probably said bad things about them. Now, not all of their videos have comments disabled, but seriously, look at the comments on some of their test master videos and look and see if the comments are disabled, because they are. And a lot of times they have thumbs down on a lot of their videos too. So yeah, so I want you to look at that.